All right, what's up, guys? We are back with another podcast episode, and today we really only have one topic, and that is the APP Tour dead? Because in the last week or so, there's been a lot of crazy news. So that's what we're going to be chatting about today. But before we get into that, Will, do you want to tell us who this podcast episode is sponsored by today?
Oh, yes. This podcast episode is sponsored by us.
Oh, my goodness. We sponsored our own episode. That's crazy because we don't have an actual sponsor yet. So it's sponsored by us today. Yeah, we're working on it. But so in all seriousness, if you haven't already seen, I am running a huge pickleball paddle giveaway on the channel as well as Instagram. I'm sure any of you who follow the podcast already know about this. I'd be shocked if you didn't. But if you didn't, you can find the YouTube video on the channel. It's the one right before this. And then Instagram doing a giveaway every single day up until December 22nd. So make sure you go and check those out because there are a lot of entries right now. So if you want to win a pickleball paddle, go check those out.
Yep. Check out the Pickleball Studio on Instagram, and also make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to the Pickleball Studio YouTube channel, and just make sure you subscribe, because if you subscribe, that's how Chris gets paid. And if Chris gets paid, I get to eat. So yes, help me out here, guys.
Yeah, Will's really been struggling lately, guys. He's on like one of those 45-day no-eat challenges because there's not enough subscribers. If I hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I might mail Will some food. So make sure you subscribe. Will wants to eat.
Okay.
All right, Will, who is the other sponsor?
Or the other sponsor of today's episode, not technically a sponsor, but a company that I'm affiliated with, is Melon hats. I recently just sent you a Melon hat, and they're just really good hats. They're antimicrobial, they're water resistant, they work really well, they keep their shape. And if you want one of these hats, I can get you 20% off. Just use the code PickleballWill at checkout off your first order.
Yeah, and I will say, so I have a lot of hats, guys. Like, I am a very salty sweater, so like all of my hats get stains after I finish playing. Like, usually I'll finish a play session and my hat is literally just covered in sweat stains and it looks horrible. And I actually counted my hats before this episode, and I think I have something like 16 hats. And usually after every single play session, I have to swap to a new hat. I have now played 3 pickleball sessions with this Melon hat, and there are no stains on it so far. So far, I'm very impressed with the hat. I never thought I would consider buying a like $60 something hat. But after seeing this one, I actually think I might pick up more of these. One, I like how it looks. It's very clean. It's very simple. Supposedly they're very easy to wash. I guess I'll test that when I actually have to wash it. But yeah, if I don't have to wash a hat after every single play session, that is lovely for me. So check them out if you guys are interested in them. They are approved by me now. So Pickleball Will has turned me into a Melon lover.
Yes. Excellent.
Let's do it. All right. Well, let's get into this. So there was a lot of news this week about the APP. So the big thing that went out was from the Dink. They put out a newsletter, and you can, find it on their website, I'm sure. But basically it just talked about how it sounds like player negotiations have been halted. And we were kind of all wondering, like, well, why? And it sounded like they were taking a step back a little bit. And then the Gold Tour cards got announced.
They're
and they're not
flooded
all announced
this week.
Oh, yeah. They're everywhere.
Oh, my gosh.
And a lot of the people who got the Gold Tour card, if you aren't familiar and didn't keep up with the last episode, MLP, PPA, they merged, and now they're doing this gold card and silver card thing where basically to play an MLP, you have to have one of those cards. And if you have a gold card, you're required to play a certain number of PPA tournaments every year. You earn double the prize money if you win, yada, yada, yada. So getting the gold card is a pretty big deal. So I'm just going to rifle off some of the names that now have gold cards that were APP players. We have Eric Lang, Travis Rettenmeyer, Vivian David, Mary Brasha, Maggie Brasha, Deckelbar, Federico Stackstrud, Zay Navertil, James is not good at pickleball, Rafa Hewitt, DJ Young, Julian Arnold, Thomas Wilson, Christian Alshon, Anna Bright, and the Kawamoto twins. So that right there is a lot of people that were hardcore APP players and are basically, essentially you are only playing PPAs at this point because you have to play, it's like a minimum of 20 PPA tournaments a year plus the 6 MLP events. So you're at 26 tournaments. You're going to play nationals. You're going to play US Open. So now you're at 28. You're going to have no time to play APPs except for a couple big ones a year. So now you've essentially stolen all of the pros
on the APP
for the most part, which is a big reason that I think the APP is going to struggle a lot this year. And real quick, Will, before I let you dive into some of your thoughts, here are some people that I looked up that I noticed did not have a gold card. And there are supposed to be 4 more women and 4 more men announced tomorrow. So my guess is that a couple of these guys are probably going to get announced in that. But for the guys, J.W. Johnson has not been announced. Andre Deescu, Kyle Yates, Hayden Patrick Quinn, Pablo Tellez, John Sincola, Brandon Insekpong, Wyatt Stone, and the Johnson twins. And then for the women, we have Andrea Coop, Simone Jardim, which isn't a surprise. It sounds like she's retiring next year. Paris Todd, Georgia Johnson, Lee Whitwell, Megan Fudge. Those are some of the more notable names that I noticed were not in the list. So some of them will probably get added tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if Paris Todd and JW were definitely one of the ones that got added. But dude, with all those players, how is the APP going to do anything? You have no pros left.
Dude, I don't know. They're definitely going to have to do a hard pivot or something. But also, if you didn't get offered a card and the same amount of money is still being offered as in the prize pool of the APP, wouldn't that just mean some of the lower level, I guess, pros or players are able to just go up there and just stack bread and collect money for like winning and medaling?
Yeah, well, I don't know for a fact yet, but I did hear from some inside sources that the prize money was potentially going to be halved. I've heard that from a couple people now. So I have no idea if that's the case. It didn't sound like they knew for sure, but it sounded like it might be trending that way. I also think I saw somewhere that they are going to take away some tournaments. They're going to go from like 20 to maybe 14 or 17. It sounds like a lot of that stuff is still up in the air. I imagine after the APP essentially just lost all their pros, they're kind of trying to figure out what to do. But if that's the case, dude, I mean, the only person I think who would go to these is up-and-comers, right?
Yeah, up-and-comers. And I feel like it looks like it's just going to be, maybe if they pivot towards just amateurs and having and like upping the amateur experience. Like if you and I went to go compete, like, we'd go to an APP
Will,
to play.
Now that all these guys are out of the tour, Zane and all of them,
you
and I are playing pro. No, you and I are playing pro and we're cleaning up shop.
Oh, okay.
Now that all of them are gone, we can win this thing. We'll see you guys in the pro bracket.
Shoot, I don't know, man. Our last couple of pros versus Joes videos and stuff, just
all the pros are gone. Who we got to worry about?
You right.
But here's the other thing too. So all those pros that I mentioned that weren't gold card,
they
could still be silver card.
Oh,
and
true.
At that point, you're still incentivized to play PPA. You still have to play. I don't remember what the number was. The number's not terrible. It's like 5 PPAs and then 6 of the MLP, so 11 tournaments. So you still have a lot of tournaments you could go play, but again, you're required to play some of these. So I don't know. Even I think a lot of the pros are going to be on the silver card, which means even less pros.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think a lot of people who still plan on playing the APP will probably be silver cards, and I don't know why, but when I hear the silver card and I don't quite remember the details of the silver card versus the gold card, but I just feel like, wow, it almost feels like you're a second-class citizen, like using the silver card. That's how I just felt, but but it's probably not the case.
The way I view the silver card is you're just doing this because you want to try and play an MLP.
Yeah, I think so too. You're just trying to play an MLP, but like it could also be for certain pro players that don't have a full-time pickleball like professional schedule. Right, because there's some pros that play at a pro level, but they don't commit to it full time. I think like
Coop is one of them.
Yeah, Coop is one of them. She has a full time job, right? I'm sure there's other pros.
She's a lawyer.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, so I mean, who else are also full time? Still keeping their full time jobs.
I actually think Matt Wright is still a lawyer as well.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Outside of that, I don't know.
I think Maggie Raminzi, she was on MLP. I think she is also still working a full-time job. So maybe that silver card is an option for them so they could still potentially play MLP, because I don't know, it would kind of suck if you played MLP and like you kind of kicked Andrea Coop out of the equation, right?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
And I'm sure some other pros and players. I don't know. There's just so many people coming into the game. It's hard to keep track of all of them. But that was a huge list of names that you just, you know,
and that wasn't
listed.
even the PPA pros.
Right. Exactly. I mean, obviously the PPA pros are going to be gold carded. Like, why would they? I don't know.
Yeah. Why would they not be?
Right. I bet you they were the first people to be offered gold cards. Right.
Well, it's funny. Lee Waters actually has a gold card, but she's not playing for 2023.
Oh yeah, that's right. I just want to know: are there like limited amount? There's not a limited amount of gold cards or whatnot, right?
I guess I haven't heard a confirmed number, but I would imagine there are. I would think there's a limited number of supply of them, just because you're not going to give it to every single player, right?
Yeah.
You want to have it feel special to be in the gold card. It seems like the number they put it at was fairly high. It's actually more pros than I thought it would be. I maybe expected 10, 15 pros, and it seems like it was between somewhere like 20 and 30 seemed to be about the number. I haven't actually counted.
I mean, to me, it just felt like everybody got a gold card. I felt like, you know, Oprah was in the crowd, like, you get a gold card, you get a gold card, you get a gold card. That's what it felt like, because it was just all in my feed of, like, I mean, everybody getting a gold card.
If someone like James can get a gold card, then I think you and I could have got a gold card. We have way more marketability than that guy. Like, way just infinitely
They need to
more.
offer us a card on our own tier, the platinum card.
Yeah, we probably should. Yeah, seriously. Why didn't we get? Yeah, I'm going to talk to them about that.
Yeah. Hit up Steve Koonin and Dundon and everybody else.
You know what? The only reason James probably did get the gold card is because of all the stuff we did with him.
This is true.
Before that, he was an okay pickleball player too, I guess. But, you know. But okay, dude, I mean, think about this. The lifelong debate that's been happening in pickleball about, you know, wanting to see APP pros play and PPA pros play. You've literally got everyone under the same roof now. I mean, at this point, you know, short of not having someone like JW and, you know, a couple of other people, Paris Todd, Georgia, like, you know, handful of other people, you essentially have every significant pro under one umbrella, and you're truly going to get to see the best players play in one place now.
Yeah. I also think this is also great for the amateurs as well, because I just remembered PPA last year, I felt like you could just sign up for the pro bracket if you just paid the entry fee to go play. Because I just remember a bunch of people just telling me, like, oh my gosh, some of these people who are playing the pro like should not be playing pro. And the brackets for the pro were like 50.
Huge.
Yeah, huge. Like 52 people deep. And some of these people just belong in 5-0 or even like 4-5. Like, I remember my buddy Alvaro was telling me, who plays in the pro bracket, was like, oh, Will, you definitely should have tried your hand at in the pro bracket. There's people in here that you just destroyed. And I was like, I don't know about that, because I got destroyed in 5-0. So I have no idea what you're talking about, Alvaro. So
yeah,
maybe not. But now with APP and PPA combined, they have to really think about these brackets, and also how are they going to seed everybody, and also what points kind of matter. Because if you're APP and you only played APP last year, you go to the PPA and you don't have like PPA points and you get seeded poorly, like how is that going to shake out? Or will some of these pros that come in from the APP, will they just have to kind of suffer for the first, I don't know, few months competing?
Well, I wonder if, I don't know for sure, because I think APP points were a little weird. I wonder if PPA points reset at the beginning of every year. I don't think APP points did. It was like the middle of the year when they started rolling off or something.
Well, I mean, even if they reset, you still have to find the right seeding for the tournaments happening at the beginning of the year, right? So I'm assuming that the rankings from the previous year have an effect on that. And if you have no PPA points from the previous year, like, how is that, you know, how's that going to work out?
Right.
So not sure how. I mean, like, could you imagine you're going to like a pro tournament, right? And like you're a lower level pro, and like Zane Navratil did not play any like PPA, and he comes and he's like in your first round. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'd be terrified. I'd be like, oh my gosh, why am I playing Zane now?
Yeah, right. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they handle some of that, but I'm very excited to see this because I think we're finally going to see some more shakeups this year. I don't think you're going to see the same final over and over and over and over. And maybe we will. I don't know. Maybe it's still going to be John's brothers versus Matt and Riley, but I think the talent pool is big enough now that we're not going to see that same final.
Yeah, and new talent is always coming in, so you have no idea. We have no idea what's going to happen, right? I mean, with the advent of what's it called, Noah Rubin, Sam Querrey from tennis coming in, maybe they'll shake things up. Who knows? We'll see. And I'm very curious and excited to see those matchups and all those matchups. Honestly, all these new matchups. I think it's going to be great for the sport, and especially if you're a spectator. I think also if you're a commentator, could you imagine you're commentating the semi, like the quarters, the semis, the final, seeing and commentating and saying the same things over with the same players. So it'll be cool.
Who do you think of the new additions is most likely to cause a shakeup in each event?
I mean, when you say
let's start with like men's doubles.
Men's doubles. Ooh, well, I don't know, because we'll see new team ups, right? I am curious to see how, obviously Christian Alshon and James like improve in the men's doubles. I don't know who their partners are. Obviously, and I didn't even think about that too. The partners right now that they've combined. Now you've opened up the pool of the partners you can choose from. So obviously we don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but I'm sure that people are now trying to figure out who I should play with. Should I still play with partners that I've locked up from the previous year on the APP, or now can I get some new partners? And PPA players are like, oh, maybe I can, fish JW Johnson from APP or something. I don't know.
Who would you? I'd be curious to see if Matt and Riley stick together. Obviously, they're playing. I mean, they're still getting.
They should.
It's not like they're, But I feel like Riley would like having someone who's more mobile. I guess not that Matt's not slow necessarily, but you know what I mean? There's like more of a disparity probably between Matt and Riley than there is between like Colin and Ben. Okay.
So you think you actually think, has there been talks that or rumors that Riley and Matt might split up?
I haven't, I guess, necessarily heard rumors. It's, just the usual stuff where people are kind of like, I wonder if he's going to start looking around. And it just makes me think with the talent pool opening up like this, you've just got way more options. But I have absolutely no idea.
Man, no, I have no idea. With all this shakeup, it's hard enough to keep track, but to think, I couldn't tell you who I think would be successful just because I don't know the partner matchups. And obviously, I haven't seen them. And if there are new partner matchups, I haven't seen them play and how they did in previous tournaments, So, but I will tell you that the people I'm excited to see is obviously James Eat a Sandwich, aka James Ignatowicz, to see him go, and Christian. I think it's probably just recency bias, just because we've talked to them a lot and we hung out with them a lot. Yeah, in the previous year, but couldn't really tell you, man. Do you have ideas of who you think would do well?
Not particularly. I mean, I am excited to see something like Julian in singles. I think James is obviously going to do well this year, especially in singles. I'm excited to see, hopefully, him play Ben. I don't know if that matchup has happened yet. If it has, I haven't seen it, but I would love to see that. I think singles is just going to be a little bit more competitive this year, just with more of the merging happening.
Oh yeah, for sure. Singles is already super competitive just this past year in 2022. So it's only going to get more competitive next year. So, no doubts about that. No, but no, nonetheless, just going to be super exciting.
And on top of all this, MLP he's gonna have some wild team matchups with all the PPA people coming in.
Oh, actually, now that you mentioned that, it would be very exciting to see if, like, what if two people got drafted, right? Like, let's say on the men's side, or even in the women's, if you got drafted for MLP, and then because you got drafted, like, by the same MLP team, that was a reasoning for you to play some of the PPA tournaments together. It's like extra practice, so that you're prepped for MLP events, right? Let's just say, like, Rafa and Zane are still on BLQK, right? And then they team up for regular PPA events. And I think both Zane and Rafa they both got gold cards for PPA, I think, right?
Yes, they did both get gold cards.
So, I mean, if they were, working together for PBA, that'd be pretty cool as well. So
I guess the only thing is that most of the partnerships are probably locked up for the most part now. And since the draft hasn't happened yet, I can't imagine you would change your partners based on the draft.
This is true. I guess you're right. When is the draft actually happening?
I think it's supposed to happen soon. I was just seeing this today. People were talking about it.
Sometime in December.
Thursday, maybe?
Ooh.
Yeah,
are they streaming
it's Thursday. Probably. I would be a little surprised if they didn't stream that. I'll actually watch it this year. I didn't see it the other times because I just wasn't that invested, but I'm definitely more invested now.
Yeah. I'm curious to see, I guess, the teams that draft who, right? Especially with the new team owners, I'm curious to see who they select, right?
Oh, I'm very curious to see.
And also, how do they decide? Because now, reading some articles and whatnot, and you told me that there's 24 teams, 12 is in a premier part of the league, and then 12 in, I guess, the challenger. Which teams get to be in the premier and which teams get to be in the challenger? Like, how is that decided?
I believe it's based on draft position. So I don't know what they're basing the draft pick positions on, but if you are picked in the first, am I going to say this right? Let's see. If you're picked in the top 24, you are drafted you would be for the Premier League, and if you're outside of 24, you would be the Challenger League.
Oh, so
you're going to be really bitter if you're number 25.
Yes. Ooh. Okay.
I'm missing it by 1 or even 3. That's going to suck.
Oh man, I can't wait. We have to definitely see who they are once the draft
man,
happens.
I'm so curious to see who it is. I mean, just with the number of players there are, I feel that someone is going to get outside of it that you're like, dang, I would have loved to see them in the premier one.
I'd also be curious to see who's the number 24th person who got drafted, who gets like, breathes a sigh of relief. Like,
like, oh my gosh, I just barely made it. Yeah.
I made it.
What number, just cause I'm not done with James yet. What number do you think he's going to be?
James?
Just throw out a number. What do you think it's going to be?
I think James is going to be like 7 or 8.
Oh, that is unbelievly far too generous.
I'm going to give James 7 or 8,
Let's just name some other pros. You've got Ben, Riley, Matt, gosh, I can't even think of all the other. There's so many people ahead of him.
Okay.
Surely,
see, so you can't. All right, okay, you got Tyson, you got Jay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I'm putting James
like 12, 15. He's definitely top 24.
No. I'm saying 19th.
19th.
James is 19th. That's my guess.
Okay. Well, also I didn't take into account that I'm just talking about just in the men in general. I'm not taking into account like you draft. Is that how the draft goes? You pick one male player, then one female player, male player, female player.
I don't know if anyone knows. Last I heard.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna give James the benefit of the doubt. I mean, he's a previous champ, and
I will buy you Chipotle if he's top 10.
If he's top 10, okay, all right. We'll watch the draft together. Okay. All right. We're gonna see if he's top 10.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
You know what we should do?
What?
That we could maybe we could announce this on the stream here. maybe we should do that. Oh, I'll see if I can set it up in time. It's going to be really tight on my schedule.
Oh, you want to stream?
We should, we should
draft?
stream the draft and then talk about it.
Okay, yeah, we can try streaming the draft and talking about it. I think that would be fun. That'd be cool. I'd have to do some workarounds with my cameras or whatnot, but I'm sure we can figure it out.
Yeah, we definitely figure something out. But for those of you who don't know, Will and I have been debating the idea of some pro tournaments, probably not every weekend because there's just far too many tournaments. But Will and I would like to, for some of the tournaments, do our own live stream. We'll have the stream up or whatever. You can watch it. Then you can see us. And then, we'll talk about random stuff, paddles, the match, whatever. Kind of like our own commentating, but, not talking about the match the entire time.
Much more colorful commentating.
Yeah, probably a little bit more roasting, some more fun stuff. If you guys think that would be interesting, just leave us a comment down below or DM me on Instagram. We think it would be kind of interesting, but if no one cares about that, then I don't know. We'll try it at least once or twice, see how it goes.
Yeah.
But we'd love to see what people's initial thoughts are.
I mean, it's something we kind of do anyways. We do sometimes watch, some of the matches in the tournament. So might as well. We got it set up. We might as well do it and just to see. And I think it'd be fun just to engage with the crowd a little bit.
Totally. No, yeah. I think it would be super fun. Plus, it gives me a reason to watch some pro pickleball and have some fun other than just staring at it in my office alone. But okay, so yeah, MLP I think is going to be really interesting. I'm excited to see how both the leagues go. I wonder how, with the Premier League.
Yeah.
I guess I'm curious how they structure this. Is it all over the same weekend? Are they going to have 2 streams running concurrently? I'd love to know kind of how they're going to manage that and how many people will tune in for the Premier one and then how many people will tune out for the Challenger one. Because I think you're still going to have a lot of exciting people in the Challenger. But when you've got, the top 24 best female and men playing over here, are you as excited to go watch the other one?
This is true. I heard rumors that I think they might take place separately, like maybe on the following weekend or something, just to space things out. I'm not too entirely sure, but I heard rumors that they were gonna be separate because I don't know. Do you think you could effectively run an MLP event like that? I guess it doesn't take too many courts. I mean, MLP's been run on just 2 courts.
2 courts. So if
you have 4. Yeah. I think the challenge would be like
you'd split the crowds up.
Exactly. And you want the crowds to be more condensed, right? Just to create the atmosphere and the hype a little bit more. So I think they're going to separate it.
But I wonder if they separate it, then instead of like 6 events, you're probably having 12 and then different travel day. I don't know. I guess I'm curious to see how they do it.
I guess we'll find out soon enough. I mean, the first one is January 26th in Arizona?
Or maybe that's what I was hearing, yes. But maybe what they do is the events are just longer, so maybe it's Wednesday to Sunday, and the first few days are the Challenger, and then the last ones are the Premier.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see. And I think I heard that they're doing somewhat of or they're trying to develop a system of relegation and promotion, just like they do for football, like in the European leagues for football, aka soccer.
Oh, you mean with the Challenger and Premier?
Yeah, I think after the season or after a certain amount of time, based on your performance, some teams get promoted, and then teams from the Premier League, some get demoted, right?
I wonder what they're going to base that on. I wonder if they'll base it on full teams, because your draft positions would have been different, right? So if you were, let's say you're Ben Johns, and you got drafted with the guy who was number 24, and let's say your team does really poorly, there's no way you're taking Ben Johns out because the number 24 guy hurt him.
True, you're maybe right, but no, I feel like it has to be team based, right? Because you want it to be team based because that's how you get people vested in a team, so you can root for your team to get out of relegation and to get into the Premier League and vice versa, et cetera, right? If you do it by players, then I don't know. It just you can't.
I mean, it would definitely be weird, but I don't know. I feel like some people have the potential to be punished when maybe they shouldn't. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how they.
That's the great thing about sports, to see like what happens.
How crazy would that be to have?
I think it would be
like a Riley Newman or a Ben Johns, and they're stuck in the Challenger League. I feel like they would never let that happen.
No, I actually think that would. I personally think that would be great for the sport, just so then you can like root for them to get out. And then now they're hungry. They're hungry. Like, yo, we got to get out of. We got to get out of the Challenger. So now they're playing differently. They're playing more aggressive. Who knows? We have no idea. Like we'll see when it comes about. But I think that would be very interesting.
Questions.
Oh,
yeah,
of
that
course.
would be. Very interesting. I don't know. That's going to be interesting. But so outside of that, along with the rest of the APP news, just some other smaller things I was kind of curious about is I'm curious what's going to happen. I guess these were kind of all UTR, I believe, was officially announced, that whole partnership deal for the rating system. But there was also this rumor floating around that basically seemed confirmed, but just not officially by the APP. They were going to land a giant broadcast deal. And now I'm curious, there's no way that broadcast deal goes through,
broadcast
right?
is not
What are you
going
going to
through, right?
broadcast? Nothing.
Yeah, if the pros aren't there, it's not going through. Yeah, there's no way it's going through. Like right now, I wouldn't be surprised if the APP is like hurting like real bad, or they're scrambling to figure something out. And like I said, they probably need to pivot.
Yeah, I definitely think they have to pivot, but I just wonder what you're going to do, because even if you focus on the amateurs, and who knows, maybe there's some stuff you can really do to make the amateur stuff feel awesome. But the problem is, I think while people don't sign up for a tournament just to go watch pros, like they're there because they want to compete, and then it's a side bonus that the pros are there. If you don't really have any pro events, or it's just not amazing pro play, I feel like it makes your tournament less appealing than a PPA tournament where you can play and then in between you go watch some high-level pickleball.
Yeah. I don't know. Or, I mean, if you can figure out a way to make the amateur, like, competing experience so good that amateurs would want to go, that could be another way to pivot as well. But
maybe, I don't know, maybe amateurs could like have prize money or something.
Right, exactly. Amateurs could have prize money. I think that's a way to potentially do it, because now if you just think about it, right? If PPA has all these pros and everybody wants to go to a PPA event to compete and to watch, just like it all depends on the venue and how much space, those. If you're going to go to compete there, it's going to get filled up really quickly because everybody wants to go there. And I don't know, I just couldn't imagine that things run smoothly if you were just there just to compete all the time, right? I mean,
yeah,
there were some tournaments that people complained about, right? Like I think the first Las Vegas tournament, like some people like when they didn't get to play until like 5 hours later after their call time or whatnot. Yeah. And if you just add more people into the mix, so there's going to be some people upset. So they have to be running their tournaments a lot better if they know that amateurs are going to be coming to compete at those events and also are there to watch the pros play as well. And that's why I was thinking, that the PPA MPO could just become some sort of primarily a spectating product, and APP could be the product where amateurs go to play and compete. But that kind of sucks. If that does happen, it kind of sucks for us as amateur competitors who want to kind of compete, but also in between matches and stuff like that, go watch some of the pros play. So I don't know, you're gonna have to pick and choose if that becomes the case.
Totally. I think one thing that has the potential to save APP, unless USAP just takes it into their own hands, is you obviously do still have the golden qualifiers that are APP. Ooh. So if you want to get into nationals, you're obviously going to go to those. I think those are still going to be high turnout events.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I really hope APP does well. I really like Ken. I think they do a great job at the APP events. They're run well. I, as an amateur, have felt, just well respected, and the tournaments are well run. So I don't want to see them go anywhere, but the way I look at it, I just wonder how it could be possible that they survive after next year with no pros.
I don't know. They'll think of something and find a way. I guess, we'll see. I mean, just look at, remember when they named the list of the APP tournaments that are coming out? Remember the Beer City Open wasn't on that list. And I know, and you and I both know the Beer City Open is like a very in high demand tournament. As soon as the signups happen for that, like it is like sold out or filled up immediately. It's just really popular. And I don't think they're on the PPA unless something changes. They're not on the APP. This is just an independent tournament. And who knows, maybe they'll be able to get the pros. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the pro landscape as a whole next year is going to be very interesting, but I will definitely be tuning into some of these events to watch because I'm really excited to see how some of these matchups go. I'm excited just to not see the same thing over and over.
Yeah, same here. But also, like I said, it all, I think it has to be a good mixture of, watching and participating, because I mean, the reason I think most people go to these tournaments, for the most part, like, yes, it's to watch the pros, but really it's because they want to compete and they want to play, right? We talk about pickleball, why it's so popular, because it's, a highly participatory, is that even a word? Participation sport. So, I know if I'm going to a place, like I want to watch the pros, if I'm watching the pros, like I just want to go play sometimes. Like sometimes I don't even care to watch some of the pros play, and I just want to go play myself and compete. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Also, on top of all this, the players definitely gave away all their negotiating power.
Oh, wait, why do you say that?
Because they're all on PPA, and if the APP isn't really going to exist anymore, what leverage do you have as a player? What are you going to say? I'm going to leave and go to this tour? There is no other tour.
You're right. I think the only thing that they could do is if they kind of like unionize, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been hearing people say that they think they should do that.
Yeah, they need something. They need some sort of leverage, right? But wait, wasn't Steve Kuhn like appointed some sort of pro player?
He's just like a relations
okay
manager for the pros, basically.
Huh. Well, the pros have to be talking now, right? I mean, they must be excited, but also, I guess now that you mentioned that, scared, right? Because like you said, they have no leverage. So whatever happens, whatever they decide to do, like, what else can you do?
Yep. And with, that, so obviously pro players lose some negotiation. Another just, I guess, shot at APP. Unfortunately, there's a new league. I can't remember exactly what it stands for. I should have done a little bit more research, but NPL, in case anyone thought that was an M. I kind of thought I said an M there. Anyways, NPL is a new senior league that's just going to focus on the seniors. So now APP doesn't even really cater to the seniors anymore because there's a whole league dedicated to those guys.
What?
So what are they going to have?
I don't even know. I don't know how popular the senior like pro tours, but maybe, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of seniors that play, so maybe they'll go to that. I don't know. It could be separate.
I mean, they definitely will, but I just think it's another thing you take away from the APP. It's like, okay, you lost the regular pros, and I assume you're going to be losing your senior pros now.
Ooh,
I don't know. It's a sad day for the APP, I feel.
Yeah, no, it is a sad day for the APP. But I think overall the merge. So would you say the merger is good for the game, good for the sport?
I would say so. At least I feel as a spectator, it's going to simplify things. It's like, okay, if you want to see pretty much all the best pros, you go watch here. Before it was, if you're new, you're going, where do I watch Tyson? Where do I watch JW? It's just, you're trying to figure out where the heck to watch, which tour is on what day. Even there's lots of confusion. I had a friend messaging me, or I've had several people ask me about, going to a PPA tournament and getting a golden ticket. And I'm like, oh, no. Yeah, nope, sorry, that's only APPs. So I think it will help to hopefully simplify some of just those dynamics. It's like, okay, turn on the PPA. We're going to watch pretty much all the best players play. I think in terms of that, it'll be good.
Yeah. Agreed.
Makes me think, on the last episode too, we talked about APP was potentially going to launch a pro league. There's like no way that happens now, right?
A pro league?
You don't remember? Like a pro team league.
Oh, yeah. A pro team league. Yeah, no, like who are you going to get?
Who would be on it?
Who is available? I mean, like, wait, let's look at the list of people who haven't signed that you wrote. You wrote down, right, who hasn't signed. J.W. Johnson.
Well, it
Andrew
wasn't
Disk,
everyone, but those were the big names that I
Kyle
noticed
Yates,
hadn't.
Hadrian Patagonia, Pablo Tellez, Sincola, and Sakapong, Stone, Johnson twins. And then you have the women, Coop, Simone, Todd, Georgia, Lee. Okay, Megan Fletcher. Yeah, I don't know. Couldn't make a team with just those names. I was just seeing.
There's no way. I don't know, man. This is what's amazing about pickleball and how crazy it is. For people who aren't as on the inside, things, I mean, you don't even have to be on the inside. That's a stupid statement. Pickleball changes so unbelievably fast. In a week, it went from, wow, we're about to see APP using a new rating system, broadcast deal. They might launch their own team league. PBA is obviously doing their thing. To, holy cow, the APP might literally be dead.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's crazy. In what other sport does a league die in a week?
I'm sure it happened in other sports in the beginning because we're in the infancy of pickleball, right? So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a sports historian, but I'm sure there's other leagues that happen that
What do I
died
even
out.
have you for? You're supposed to know these things.
Me?
Yeah, I'm just here to give hot takes. I don't know.
That's you. I thought that was supposed to be my job.
Maybe I'm just confused.
You're the one who does all the meticulous research and provides me notes to talk about. In fact, sometimes I don't know about news until you tell me about it on these podcasts. I'm just letting you know right now.
Well, I guess the bright side with that is we get your gut reaction to the news rather than having thought it all out.
No, I can't think stuff all out. It's just too much for my brain to handle because there's so much happening all at once. I can't keep track of it all. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh.
It's insane. I actually just had someone I was talking to, a local player, and I said something. I was asking about, have you heard about this news? And they were like, dude, I can't keep up with anything. I have my time to play pickleball. I don't have time to keep up with all he used the word drama. It's obviously not always drama.
Yeah. But. I mean, and other news, like another minor league pickleball event happened this past weekend. It was like the minor league 16 and minor 18, right?
Yeah, I don't know which ones it was. Looked like there was a 16 for sure.
16, yeah. So, I mean, I wasn't watching it or anything, but I know some people were playing in it, and I don't know what's going on with minor league. I don't know how that's going to fit into the overall landscape, but I think it's cool that they're continuing, having these minor league teams, and it just makes me wonder, like, if MLP is such a popular format, would it be interesting to see some sort of, like, or at least to see more tournament formats with teams involved, right? Like you sign up as a team, you go somewhere, and then you're in some sort of team bracket. I think that would be pretty cool. That is not specifically a minor league event. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think that'd be cool.
No, I definitely think that would be cool. I wonder what minor league's going to look like in the future, though, because I had heard absolutely nothing about this minor league. I just saw a couple posts on Instagram, not even from them, and I thought, minor league's happening right now? I guess I'll turn it on for a minute. Turned it on and was like, okay, I guess this is happening right now.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think it's cool, though, to have more minor league events, or really just to have more team events happening. I want more people to play that kind of format. Yeah. Like just to have, even if cities or towns or neighborhoods, like imagine like in your neighborhood, you had a team and you face like the neighborhood across town, like every other week. I think that'd just be kind of cool. Didn't you just play one recently in Minnesota?
I did, yeah.
Minneapolis?
Lifetime held a team style tournament exactly how MLP does it. The only thing they changed, and I'm so disappointed by people in Minnesota.
Why?
There was a bunch of people who whined, and okay, this was to please everyone, so it kind of worked out, kind of not, whatever. Basically, the only thing they did differently was the Dream Breaker. People were saying, no, we don't want to play singles. Like, singles is too hard. So what it came down to was if you went to a Dream Breaker, you flipped a coin, and whoever won the coin toss got to pick singles or doubles.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I get why they did it. They, if you're...
Why didn't they just play skinny singles?
Oh, gosh, no. I'd take doubles over that. Get the
really?
skinny singles trash out of here.
I mean, if it was skinny singles, but you still rotated you know,
Nope.
left and right? No. Oh, see, you
Nope.
don't you hate skinny singles just like
No,
me.
I don't want skinny singles either, but the amount of hatred you had for it was so like I just go, okay, whatever. It is what it is. You took it like MLP insulted your mother or something. It was like just we'd be happily sitting there doing nothing, and you'd be like, man, I hate skinny singles. And I was like, whoa, Will, why are you so mad?
No, it was, I mean, okay, yes, I hate it, but it was also the fact that the skinny singles was only straight ahead. Like there was no cross court.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Alternative, like what should we call it? Rotation.
sides.
Yeah, alternating sides.
Yeah.
Right. That's why. That was the main reason why. But anyways, it was done with. I didn't have to play a Dream Breaker, so I guess it's fine.
I'll say though, I did really love that format. I enjoyed playing with the team. Again, as people know, I liked the rally scoring. I thought it was fun. I especially loved in mixed that I didn't have to stack. I mean, even in men's, that I didn't have to stack. At this point, we usually put Patrick over on the left. Sometimes we usually only start stacking if we really feel like we need it. But in this case, it was like, well, we just pick our side and stay there. So it kind of just worked out. And I don't know. I really liked it. It was fun to play the other teams. We got second in the tournament. I don't know. I would totally play more tournaments like that.
Yeah.
If they existed.
If they existed, for sure. Okay, so I'm curious. So now that you had a whole entire event in Minneapolis, like what did the other competitors think of the rally scoring format? I'm assuming some of them haven't played rally scoring or competed.
Oh, a lot of them hadn't, because I was hearing people try to explain the format to each other, and I'd go, whoa, 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 whoa. That is not how this works. People thought they got 2 serves, and it was just like they weren't sure if you switch sides or not switch sides. There was a lot of confusion.
Okay. But did people like it once they got the hang of it or nah?
I didn't get a great pulse on it. I didn't get to ask everyone, actually really a lot of people what they thought. I asked some of my friends that I was closer with, and I think they thought it was fine, but they said for their play styles, they didn't feel like it worked great. Like they take bigger risks, or they go for more on their serve, or even just during the point, and they felt they were getting penalized for going for that, which, you know, is a reasonable thing. I think that's the case. But the way I keep thinking about this, or going back to, is in tennis, right? People aren't going, oh man, we're rally scoring, I'm not going to go for my all. I think in pickleball, you have this safety net where when you're serving, you go, well, I can't lose anything. So if I go for this, it's not a big deal. And that you kind of have like a bailout. I think if we were rally scoring in pickleball, you would just see the level of skill rise. I don't think we would just go back to dinking safely.
I would have thought it was the opposite, that people would play more safe because they get penalized on their serve. They would be more tentative, right, with their serve and whatnot. So
No, well, that's what they're saying is like they feel they get penalized for going for more, so they slow it down.
Oh, okay. Basically, what you're saying is they need to play better.
Yes.
Okay.
I think the level of play just rises, or will rise, if we go to rally scoring.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. But I don't know. I like it. I think if any other areas offer one of those, you should totally go to one. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope I get to play more of them. I'd almost rather play a team tournament than just an individual tournament, to be honest.
No, me too. If there was another one, like I want to go play another team tournament. It's just so much fun. I don't know why.
As long as I get regular singles for the Dream Breaker, because I said the whole time, if we go to a Dream Breaker and I flip that coin and we win, singles all day long, baby. Singles all day long.
Even if it's a potential detriment to your team, like you're the only singles player on your team.
No. Trust me, my team was gonna clean up singles.
Oh yeah, okay.
yeah. I felt very good that we would, or very confident that we would win singles if we played.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Cool.
yeah, I mean, dude, unless you've got anything else to talk about the APP, I mean, I think we've covered this pretty well, and I don't have too much else myself.
Nah, don't have anything else to really talk about. I mean, not too much stuff is happening except for I think the MLP draft that's coming up, and obviously it's the holidays, not a lot of tournaments and stuff is going on. I think people are just, I don't know, it's kind of nice to have a breather, right? It feels like an off season Like does pickleball, and I do feel like after next year, there needs to be an off season, right? With that many, like people with the gold card, right? Players with the gold card. Well, how many tournaments? It was 20 and then 26 events. That is, I just feel like that's a lot. Like when do people get a break?
Yeah, and I just wonder how people are training, obviously, but I think an off season would be good, strength building, trying new things. You know, I just think it would be good to have an off season, even if it was, you know, just a month or two. And I think scarcity creates like a desire to have the things you have less of, you want it more.
Right.
So people are just going to want to tune in more when they have less of it.
Yeah, people are pumped, like, for the season to come back on and tournaments to be happening again and to see who's improved in the off season, et cetera. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. But I think a lot of people over the holidays are just going to be getting a lot of new paddles, going to be playing a lot. They're going
to get a lot of new melon hats with code Pickleball Will at checkout.
You're such a shill.
You see what I did there?
Oh my gosh, you're such a shill.
I'm trying to get you fed, my guy. I didn't even plug my own thing.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. No doubt. I didn't know you were gonna go this hard with it.
Hey, whoa! I just brought it up one time. We didn't even go that hard. Let's calm down here. Okay, this is the last time I try and support this guy. I just get called out for trying to help him.
It's much appreciated.
Actually, one other thing I do want to mention, normally I mention at the beginning of the podcast, but I got to play more in depth with the ProKennex Black Ace today, and that is for sure the most powerful paddle on the market. I questioned
powerful paddle on the market.
I mean, honestly, dude, I think it would still rival the Vice. I haven't hit them side by side, so it's a little harder to say. But
what?
The ball is a rocket off of that face. It is absurd how fast. So I played with the Power Air and the 002. I played, I think, 6 games with the Black Ace, and then I went back over to the 002. And I never thought I would say that the 002 felt soft, but I was like, oh my gosh, I can dink again. I can reset the ball. Like, I feel like I can place the ball where I want. And that is never, ever what anyone says about the 002.
I need more time with the Black Ace. Tell ProKennex to send me some, or send me yours when you're done with it.
Oh, no. I just said that was the last time I shill for you. You should have thought twice about making that comment before making that ask.
Okay. Well, I also had an experience with a new paddle. So I played with a paddle from a small little company called Ronbus, and they also had an EVA foam paddle. And I think I explained to you, and you said, yeah, it sounds like the Diadem Vice paddle, and it was ridiculous. I mean, you still had the soft game, but as soon as you did a full swing, that thing would just rocket off the paddle, and it just felt like it accelerated. It kept its velocity, and there's no way it should be illegal.
That's exactly what the Black Ace feels like to me. It's like, holy cow, this ball just never slows down. Like, when you want to put the ball away, you can put the ball away with that thing, but it just, if you don't hit it right or gently enough, like, it's gonna sail out.
So what was your short game? What did it feel like? Didn't it feel good, bad? Like, did it take more
I
adjustment?
didn't think it felt good.
Okay.
I actually told Patrick it felt like if you took my 002 review and almost everything I said in there about like small sweet spot, if you hit it off center, the ball dies. It's hard to control. It's hard to dink and reset with. You could just take all of that and paste it on the Black Ace and then just say everything gets a little bit easier with the 002 is kind of what it felt like to me. I genuinely felt going to the 002, it was a much easier game to play. And that's not to say that the Black Ace feels bad. I just think it feels hard to use. The biggest maybe con is that I don't think you get a lot of good feel off the paddle. It kind of feels just very hard and stiff. And then, again, never thought I'd say this about a 002, but I was like, oh, wow, this actually like feels pretty good off the face. And that's just, I think the Black Ace is just so drastic in the feel that it has.
Yeah. Okay. That's kind of like how I thought about it too when I first got to play with it, just a little bit, but I would like some more time with it just to really see if you could make adjustments with it. But Yeah. All right. Well,
It's fun for sure. I like it. I think it's an impressive paddle. And when I went to a power air, you know, I was still trying to crank the ball, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to try so much harder to make the ball even move similarly. I go back to the black ace, and drives just feel so much fun. You're like, geez, I can really make this guy jump when I drive the ball at him. And, you know, my noodle arms, if I can make someone jump, you know, something's right.
okay. Well, one last thing I want to talk about, since we're on the topic of paddles right now. Are you going to be coming out with your end of the year superlatives for paddles? Because we talked about it a few times, like, you know, like power paddle of the year, spin paddle of the year, et cetera, et cetera. Is that coming out soon?
Yeah, that video. Oh man, I guess I gotta land on a date. I think initially I was looking at December 22nd is when I was gonna release that video, and I think it's still possible to release that. I was scripting the video out today, making sure I had all my paddles in order of what's gonna win what awards and whatnot. But yeah, soon, probably at the absolute worst, late December. But my goal is pre-Christmas to announce what the best paddles of 2022 were.
For just like pre-Christmas, you're gonna be you're gonna be giving so many buyers and consumers buyer's remorse, because they're gonna see it and then they know a paddle is waiting for them, like under their tree or something like that, and they're gonna be like, dang it, I should have gotten this one instead.
I hope no one gets a Z5 under the tree. that person that's like the equivalent of getting coal for Christmas.
Oh my god.
That's the pickleball coal.
Oh my gosh. Dang.
I don't know what would be. I don't know. Man, what would I rather have under the tree? Would I rather have a Z5 or an Adidas paddle?
Okay, can I have a request that when you push out these superlatives on your video that you dress up as Santa?
Well, I don't know about that, Will. That's a big ask.
What about your giveaway that you're doing right now? Come on, you gotta.
And I should have done that. That would have been a wise idea. You're supposed to give me these ideas before I make. You're
right. You're right. But you came up with that giveaway idea. I felt like kind of last minute. It was.
Yeah, I literally thought of that during Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I felt like the companies gave you those paddles. They all got them to you, or are they sending them directly?
No, they didn't send them to me just to not play shipping tag. I'm just gonna give the companies the information and they'll mail them out.
Gotcha.
Figure it saves them mailing it to me, and then it's just way easier that way. So yeah, well, that is everything I got. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
All right, see ya.